What's going on, guys? Steve Blake here, and if you guys have been part of the channel for a long time, you know that we've done a bunch of different videos that are business related, and these are things that are really helpful, right? So growing up, I always wanted to be able to kind of have that perspective of, friends and family that seemed to be, affluent, that kind of had the right idea for things. So fast forward a couple of years, went to business school, met some more people, made some great relationships, and basically was taught these secrets of things that, coming from a middle class, blue collar working family, didn't seem like things that were necessarily like important or the right way of doing things. So this video is all about credit. Credit's super important, and I'm going to talk about basically some things that can help you guys at a young age get ahead, more ahead than I have, and start working towards building up credit. So first and foremost, and again, before I get into the video, I will link down below in the description some sites that will help you pick a credit card if you do want one. And this is really helpful because they go over the different options, and what's right for me may not be right for you. But all the things that I'm talking about in this video will help you, and trust me, it's something that you want to take into serious consideration. So number one for me, right? Credit always seemed like a dumb thing because who wants to spend money that they don't have, right? Just was kind of a weird conception to me. I was always like, pay in cash, pay in full. I'm always doing debit. I always have that money in the account. But then when I got into the real world, outside of my perception of things, even when I tried to do and use that tactic, for instance, when I was looking at renting an apartment, I was going to pay all the full year payments in cash out, still got a credit check run on me. Same thing with my car. When I went to go pay for my car in full, I still had a credit check run on me. And this credit check is something that if you don't have it, that person's perception of selling you something, they may not want to do business with you. And it's super important that you establish a credit history somewhere along the lines to prove that you are in fact a trustworthy, responsible adult. So how do you build a credit history? Now, the number one thing is getting a credit card. You can get a credit card and never use it and start working and building your credit history. In fact, it's actually a good thing. When you get a credit score, one of the major factors of a credit score is the percentage of credit you use. So I have a credit balance right now of $10,000. Every single month, I only use a little bit over $2,000 or $3,000. So my utility rate on that total piece of the pie is 20 to 30%. That range of 20 to 30% is a really good thing. Creditors don't want to see that you're maximizing your credit every month, because this is a sign to them, even if you pay it every month, which was something that didn't make sense to me. Even if you pay it every month, if you're using 60, 70, 90% of your credit every month, it's an indicator to them to drop your score because you're more at risk of not paying that back. So in order to make sure that your utility rate is never more than 20 or 30%, just request a larger line of credit. There's nothing wrong about requesting a larger line of credit. I have no intentions to spend $10,000 a month, and if I did, I would definitely be in trouble. But what it shows creditors is that I'm trustworthy up to that amount, and hey, look, I'm only using this much, I'm a good bet for you. The second thing that you want to make sure you do is not miss any payments. So make sure that you are hitting your payments every single month. Set up automated banking, keep track of it, whatever works for you. Some people use this thing called mint.com. I prefer just using an Excel spreadsheet, but make sure you're keeping track so at the end of the month it's not a surprise and you're not getting docked by not paying that off. The worst thing that can happen is failure to pay really hurts your credit history. Now, the third thing about credit cards, it's a good way of looking at it. If you were like me and I was like, I don't want to use a credit card, I always want to use debit. The nice thing about credit cards, and I use a Bank of America rewards card, I honestly highly suggest it if you're with Bank of America. Every bank has their own. Like I said, I'll put those down in the description to help you out. But you get money back on stuff. So 3% on gas, 2% on food, 1% on everything else, basically. And I wish Bank of America was paying me because that'd be awesome, and maybe they'd pay my bill or something. But it's a good way of looking at it, right? So think of it, every time you buy a sneaker, every time you buy clothing, every time you buy something else, you get an additional 1% back on all your purchases, and these stack up. And for me, at the end of the month, If I transfer that balance in my bank account, they give me an extra 10%. So far, from spending money, Bank of America's paid me over $500 just by spending money, which is pretty crazy to think about, right? So the way that I think is important of framing this discussion about credit is, one, it's super important, right? You need it. If you're ever gonna buy a car and you need car payments, you need it. If you're gonna rent a house, if you're gonna get a mortgage, you need a credit history. The biggest indicators are how long you've had a credit. So if you're turning 18, get a credit card. Doesn't matter if you don't use it. I have a credit card that I just put in a drawer. I don't even look at it. I don't take it out. And then setting that limit to a point where you're not spending over 20 or 30%. And then finally, making sure you're hitting all those payments every single month and not missing one. And these are going to be things that are going to help set you up. So guys, I hope this helps frame the discussion about credit. This is by far and away the most highly suggested video, apart from paying back college loans, which I'll also talk about in another video, depending on how well this one goes. But please, if you enjoyed, hit that thumbs up button for me. It goes a long way. T Blake signing out. Peace, guys.